everyone! Welcome to the JK Nippon Guide channel. I'm Sakura, your guide today. I'm a high school student here in Tokyo. Today's topic is Oda Nobunaga. He's one of the most famous samurai in Japanese history. Make sure to watch till the end! On this channel, I talk about Japanese history, culture, trends, and all kinds of fun stuff for people from overseas. I'd be super happy if you subscribed. And if there's anything you want to know about Japan, just leave a comment and request it. I'll totally explain it for you. Let's start by taking a look at what kind of person Nobunaga actually was. Oda Nobunaga was born in 1534 in the Owari region, today's Aichi Prefecture. At that time, Japan was in the middle of the Sengoku period, a chaotic era when daimyo, local military rulers during Japan's feudal era, were constantly fighting each other for territory. When he was young, Nobunaga was actually pretty wild and mischievous. Some even called him the Fool of Owari, which basically means a reckless, odd kid who doesn't act like a normal lord's son. But in reality, Nobunaga had a super sharp mind. He made decisions logically, and he was amazingly quick at accepting new ideas and new technology. So even though he looked like a troublemaker on the surface, he was actually the genius-type leader who could see the future and act faster than anyone else. Now let's take a look at what kinds of reforms and innovations Nobunaga actually made. One of his biggest achievements was changing how business worked in Japan. At the time, merchants were controlled by groups called za, which were basically guild-like organizations. If you weren't part of a za, you couldn't freely sell your goods. Nobunaga abolished this system and allowed open trade, which made cities much more active and boosted the economy. This economic reform is known as Rakuichi Rakuza. He promoted these policies especially around Gifu Castle, which sits on top of a mountain with an amazing view. Today it's a popular spot for travelers, including many from overseas. Nobunaga was also quick to accept new technology and culture. Guns were introduced to Japan by the Portuguese, and he immediately saw their potential. He adopted firearms on a large scale and reorganized his army. His most famous win using guns was the Battle of Nagashino, where he positioned gun squads strategically and transformed Japanese warfare. The Nagashino area still has historic sites and a museum that attract many visitors. Another thing many foreigners find interesting is Nobunaga's love for Western culture. He enjoyed wine and sometimes wore Western-style capes and hats, which totally breaks the classic stereotype of samurai in full armor. He was extremely open-minded toward the outside world. He also had a black retainer named Yasuke, who came from Africa. Nobunaga was so impressed by him that he brought Yasuke into his service. This story has become very popular overseas, thanks to anime, manga, and even Western films. Nobunaga also changed castle design. His masterpiece was Azuchi Castle in Shiga Prefecture near Lake Biwa. It's considered the first Japanese castle with a full multi-level tenshu, a grand central tower, and it functioned like a future-style city, combining politics, economy, and defense. Today, only the stone foundations remain, but you can still feel how visionary he was. And speaking of castles, while Azuchi Castle survives only as stone foundations, places like Osaka Castle and Himeji Castle are still standing and are major tourist spots. If you have any memories or favorite experiences with Japanese castles, please share them in the comments. Next, let's take a look at how Nobunaga's life came to an end. By the early 1582, Nobunaga was close to unifying Japan and was the most powerful leader in the country. Because of his huge confidence and influence, he even called himself the Demon King of the Sixth Heaven, which made his rivals fear him. But then, something completely unexpected happened to him. In 1582, while Nobunaga was staying at a temple in Kyoto called Honnōji, something totally shocking happened. One of his own top generals, Akechi Mitsuhide, suddenly rebelled against him and attacked the temple. This event is known as the Honnōji incident. There's one dramatic detail that many people find fascinating. As the attack became hopeless, it's said that Nobunaga ordered the temple to be set on fire so that his body would never be found. In other words, he chose to disappear completely rather than let his enemies claim his remains. It adds a very tragic and mysterious layer to his final moments. The big question is why Mitsuhide betrayed him. Even today, historians don't have a clear answer. Some theories say it was political conflict, others suggest personal grudges or pressure from powerful external groups. Nothing is confirmed, which is why this part of history still feels like a mystery thriller. The present-day Honnōji temple is still in Kyoto, with displays and exhibits related to Nobunaga. It's a popular place for tourists, including many people visiting from overseas who want to see the site of this famous turning point in Japanese history. Now let's take a look at how Nobunaga appears in today's Japanese pop culture. So this is the fun part. In modern Japan, Nobunaga isn't just a historical figure. He's actually a super popular character in all kinds of media. You'll see him in games, anime, manga, novels, and even smartphone apps. He's basically everywhere. What's especially interesting is that Japan has a culture of moifying historical figures, turning them into cute or stylized characters. And yes, Nobunaga is one of the top examples. One famous case is the game Fate, Grand Order, where Nobunaga appears as a female character. A lot of foreigners are surprised and say, "Wait, Nobunaga is a girl?" But that gap between the real historical figure and the fictional version actually makes him even more recognizable and fun. So, in modern pop culture, Nobunaga has gone way beyond being just a warlord. He's become a creative icon with tons of different interpretations. Finally, let's quickly look back at what we talked about today. Nobunaga was a revolutionary leader who changed Japan in so many ways. From opening up the economy, to modernizing military tactics, to building future-style castles like Azuchi. He kept breaking the old rules of the Sengoku period and pushed Japan toward a new era. That's why he's remembered as one of the most innovative figures in Japanese history. And if you ever come to Japan, I really recommend visiting places connected to him, like Gifu Castle, the Nagashino battlefield area, Azuchi Castle ruins in Shiga, and Honnōji Temple in Kyoto. Seeing those places in person makes Nobunaga feel so much more real. Next time, I'll explain what happened in Japanese history after Nobunaga's death. If you're interested, please check out that video too. Thank you so much for watching! If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm also looking forward to reading your comments. I'll see you in the next one! Bye bye!